Hi, I'm Michelle Shuttleworth Towler, and this is going to be a vocal exercise tutorial. A lot of my own students ask me for recordings to guide us through the exercises that we normally do in lessons, and I thought it would be a good way for people who are looking at me, who are interested in coming to lessons, to see how we work, how I operate, sort of my pedagogy, and hopefully you can get a good feel of how it will be when you come to lessons. We certainly won't get to all the exercises, but we'll hit some of my favorites. So after you do all of your physical stretching, stretch out your neck, under your collarbones, shoulder blades, all that good stuff, we're going to start yawning. And at first you don't need to have any sound, but we want to really focus on awareness, what we are doing while we are yawning. And we certainly want to focus on the objective of every exercise we do. One of the things that makes vocal warm-ups ineffective is that we really don't focus on the specific goals of each skill that we are warming up. We sort of just see it as a physical warm-up overall, and we don't get the full benefit of the exercises. So when we yawn, we are focusing on what is happening to our instrument, and what is good about that, that will help us with sound production. Soft palate goes up, your jaw muscles relax and drop, your mouth is open, your tongue is flat on the bottom of your mouth, and the space that closes off when you swallow, between your mouth and your throat, is open and relaxed. We need that nice open channel for our air to pass through. Our chest is really relaxed, it's not doing anything, and as our lungs fill up, and it needs to be displaced, our lungs are taking up more space inside our body, so something has to move out of the way. All of the squishy stuff down here moves out. And you want to feel all that openness, that relaxation, that roundness, and all the air support that you have when you yawn. Since you have all of this relaxed posture, and you have a lot of air support, we want to start to add sound to that. Not singing, but sound. Just from the middle of your range down. Feel the openness, feel the resonance. This is like a pre-warm-up for your vocal cords. So before you start making beautiful sounds, you just want to stretch everything out so that by the time you get to singing exercises, they're ready for you. A little higher. A little higher. Make sure it's always coming outside your face. Top to bottom, make sure you get all the way down. The next thing we want to do are lip trills. So lip trills are really great. They're another one of these pre-warm-ups. They're really safe, they're foolproof, they're on the inside, and you can really go from the entire range, top to bottom, without pulling, without stretching anything. And again, this gets you ready for your singing exercises. It's also really, really good for targeting placement. You have a really heavy sensation with that buzz, the flutter of your lips on the lip trills. So you can feel very specific placement all the way up and down your range. Do a handful of those loops all the way up and also all the way down. Don't forget to go low. Do a handful of those, then we take them to the piano. It's going to be our first piano warm-up. Everything that we do today is going to be in the ladies' range. Since that's me, that's what I'm singing. Then you're going to want to start a little bit lower. Obviously, when you come into your lesson, everything is going to be changed according to your own specific range. This is just going to give you a little sampling. Hopefully you can jump in and follow along when the range is right for you. So So after lip trills, I like to go on to nasal exercises for a couple reasons. One, I really want to open up the mask. I want you to focus on sort of this space up here that you don't normally use when you speak. We want to wake up that space because we're going to need it for our upper range. The other reason I like nasal exercises is because they're oftentimes not pretty. They're not beautiful sounds. And as singers, we really love to sound beautiful all the time. And it's another big mistake that we make when we're doing our warm-ups. We kind of push our way through because we want to make that sound as good as it can. We want to make those vowels, as round as it can be, even when our instrument isn't ready for it. So by making some ugly sounds, it kind of gives your brain permission to not be beautiful, not to sing, to just get your instrument ready in the way that it needs to by making sounds, not singing. So the first thing we're going to do is meow-meows. And from here on out, I'll give you 2 or 3 rounds, and then I'll keep playing so that you can sing along. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. I'm up here. Don't ever feel like you need to push. Make it really small at the top. I'll jump back in there. If you're warming up your belt range, any sort of really contemporary musical theater, anything that's really bright and masky and pointy, you're going to want to wake up all of this space, and that's a really good one for it. From here, we're going to go to nice, easy front vowels, E's, by going up, and the other thing I want you to focus on, apart from the front vowel being nice and easy, sort of in this top front quadrant of your face, right out your front teeth, nothing funny with it, no booties, like rounding out or anything like that, is use your consonants. A lot of times we kind of skim over the consonants, we don't think about them a lot. B's and D's are really great, especially for the beginnings of your warm-ups, because they're going in that way. They're getting the sound out of your face. So we're starting you off progressively with a nice, easy warm-up before we get to things that are big, open back vowels that are going to be a lot more challenging. And you'll keep going. To reach your break. I want you to think about that shelf that we just worked on for the nya-nyas. We kind of want to get it up here with a round roof. So instead of beady beady bee, we're just coming from your throat here. Bee, beady 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 bee. For right now, we're not going for a full brassy belty sound. We're still at the beginning of our warm up. Take it easy, round that ceiling. Beady 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 bee. Warmed up a lot today, you've sung a lot today, you're really ready, you can still get it up to this point. We want to detach from your throat so you're not coming up from underneath, but we're approaching that sound from your mask right onto those E's. Beady, 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 bee. Beady, 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 bee. So the space is going to occur up here, not pushing your speaking voice up just as high as you can possibly get it. From here, we're going to go down below. We always want to have a balance. As we move up, we also want to make sure that we're stretching down, so we're not moving this way, we're moving this way with our exercises. We're going to take it down on ma. Ma. Big round A-W-A, like you're looking at babies and puppies. Aww. And as you prepare for this breath, I want you to think about that big open yawn breath, where your mouth is hollow, your soft palate is lifted, your jaw is dropped, this part of your throat is open. It's essentially shaped like an ah, so that as you begin this exercise, the only thing you have to do is touch your lips together to make the M sound. You get that nice little buzz of the M, and as your lips part, the sound is there, it's all falling out. If we close our mouth to make that M, we need to travel all the way back open, and a lot of times it doesn't make it all the way open. So keep it open on the breath in so you don't have to make any adjustments. Way, we're going to move on to news, which is partially a nasal exercise. So it begins on an N. There are three kinds of hums, M, N, and NG. This one takes advantage of our N. To make that N sound, you're going to take the tip of your tongue and just touch your hard palate. The space behind it should be nice and hollow. And I want you to feel the buzz of that N between your hard palate and the bridge of your nose. So we start here. You're going to have it anchored right here. And once you have that buzz nice and anchored, you're going to swan dive from that point into a nice open circular ooh sound from right up here. I don't want you to think about that ooh coming here. And certainly we want to avoid that sort of horizontal E-W-ew kind of sound that spreads out the sides. Get it right here so it's nice and pretty. Going this way. It's naturally going to want to pull to the back of your mouth toward your soft palate. Really keep it going toward the bridge of your nose. And if you feel like you're getting caught from the bottom, pulling from your throat, almost like a surprise breath in, like you're opening up all of this space up here, and kind of hang it from the top. So you're starting, the origin point of that sound is all the way up here, not starting from down here and pushing it forward. All the way up there. Good. Moving on. So let's work on our abs. Let's get all the way up to the top of our range. So staccato on the way up. You want a lot of abdominal action, like little internal Heimlichs. Panting like a dog. Then legato on the way down. E's on the way up, big A-W, aw as we move down. Keep going. Just tap little bells. Just like, if it sounds like a goose, that's fine. You just want this nice, crystal clear little bing at the top. Moving on, get a drink after that one. And keep in mind, this is certainly an abbreviated warm-up. It's not everything that we would work on in your particular lesson. It would certainly depend on the type of music that we were going to work on. For today, I'm mixing a little bit of legit, a little bit of contemporary to give you kind of a sampler platter of the kinds of things that I do with my students and how we work, what the approach is as we're looking at the physiology of sound production of vocal singing skills. So let's do another nasal exercise. And we'll start to move into some contemporary exercises before coming back to legit. We're going to do bing-a, 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 ba. So this is an NG. You want to avoid trying to sing through to some sort of vowel. It's not a vowel, it's all the way closed off. Bing! And you're going to feel a very, very distinct line of buzz of where that note sits. That's so that you have an anchor, so that when you go back to that big open back vowel, ah, you know where you just came from. You go right back up to it. Again, since it's totally closed off and you have a very, very prominent buzz inside these resonators here, it's a nice way to sort of figure out where that note specifically lives in your own voice, as opposed to a big back vowel exercise where it's just kind of you feel it all over the place, you don't really know where it's placed. This is a good way to kind of get your bearings and make sure that you have it in the right spot. Binga, 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 ba. Binga, 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 ba. Binga, 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 ba. So all the way closed to all the way open. Make sure that ah is relaxing in your throat. Again, all the way closed to all the way open. Open that trap door. Binga, 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 ba. So if we were moving into really contemporary musical theater, we would really want to warm up that bright, shelfy, masky kind of quality that we were talking about before. One exercise that I like to do is take on a good old triad exercise. So what we're doing is we're starting off with this really, really big, almost dark O, just a big full O. And then as you move up to the top of that triad, you're moving into an A, which is a mid-vowel and wants to sink back down into the middle of your mouth. But that's not where we want to put it, especially as we move up into our upper register. So what I want you to think of is moving that A into the upper third of where that O was living. And as you feel that you need more space, we're going to round the top and spread it out through your cheeks. Sometimes it helps to think about spreading out through your canine up top here so that it doesn't pull back down. I'll jump in at the top so you can kind of hear what I'm talking about. Start it here. From the O to the A, just as an exercise on its own, isolated, so you can feel that. It's a lot of action, trying to water this down for this video, between your soft palate and the back of your tongue. It's a lot of internal things going on. If you feel like you're really chewing it up, going from away, and closing off, obviously we're moving in the right, or the wrong direction. More on that later. Another good nasal exercise, focusing a lot on the nasal exercises today, for the legit singers, I want to give it equal time to both, is a raw exercise. Back to that NG. Start here. So what we're doing is we are taking a big open prep breath and hanging an NG. So the back of your tongue is pressed against your soft palate. Again, you want to feel trajectory sort of aiming toward the bridge of your nose as opposed to the back of your throat. When you feel like you really have that anchored, press off on a hard G to a big open ah. You want to be careful not to sort of expand slowly through it, but to really just have it drop out from you like a dam burst. Big, beautiful AW. Again, this is more for legit singing. and bottom. So let's go back to a good old me-ah. Me-ah. In this one we can kind of lean legit or contemporary depending on how you form the vowel. I want to introduce at least one little physio-vocal exercise. You do a lot of physio-vocal work. I really want you to feel that your body is, that your instrument is a whole body instrument, that we're not just a singing head. And by doing these physical exercises, really combine a lot of these voice-body connectors. Especially psychologically, it's easy to really start thinking about your singing voice being kind of up here. Doing something changes that. Hopefully you can still see me in this video. So as you're singing this me-ah, and my head's cut off, we're going to take a step forward, we're going to push forward. A few rules with this lunge: keep your head level, you want to make sure that you're not leaning into it, nor are you overextending your lunge. Me-ah, me-ah. And sometimes just getting down, moving your body, especially when you're going to the highest reaches of your range, is going to help a lot, not only to get your engine going in the right place, making sure that all the movement is sort of below this line, but it's also going to ensure that you have tension-free torso. We don't want to be pushing from your throat, obviously, when you get to those top notes, and doing a lot of extra movement in the bottom. While it doesn't necessarily create the support, it does ensure that a lot of work is being done down here, so it's very, very difficult for a lot of that tension to be held up here. Me-ah. Just push your way through it. Should have somebody else playing so I can demonstrate this better. Remember, I'm going to take that big open yawn breath, and you always want to prepare the phrase that you're about to sing with your breath. Breathe for the highest, hardest note of that phrase. In this case, it's easy to figure out what that is, and you have a big open back vowel, which is going to help you out. So, if we're all the way up here, breathe as if you're about to sing on this E flat right away. You're not going to, but the beginning notes are going to be fine. But we want to make sure that that is open space, that is just waiting for that E flat to happen. Like, welcome, we've been waiting for you, E flat. So you don't have to travel up, especially from a closed off E. We don't want to start there. Excellent. So, certainly this is just a sampling of what we do, but hopefully you got a feel for how we approach things, the type of different things that we cover, sort of my approach to singing pedagogy. And if you have any questions or if you're interested in setting up a consultation, please fill out the contact form or send me an email. I'd be happy to meet you. Thanks so much, and I hope to see you soon.